Have you ever been jolted awake at like 3 in the morning by a foot cramp so violent it literally makes you want to file for divorce from your own body?
Oh, yeah. Or that little eyelid twitch you get that just will not stop.
Exactly. And you think, great, I must have slept funny, or maybe I had too much caffeine. We just write off this little physical drama as, an annoying fluke.
We do. We blame everything else.
But what if that irritating midnight agony, and far more importantly, a whole lot of much bigger drama happening silently inside your arteries and your heart, comes down to a single, ridiculously underappreciated mineral?
We are talking about magnesium.
Yeah.
I want you to think of it as the competent but totally ignored backstage manager of your entire body.
The one no one ever thinks.
Never. And it's notoriously difficult to measure, so it often just gets dismissed by mainstream medicine. Yet it's fundamentally involved in over 300 enzyme reactions, and we believe it holds the key to the stability of your heart.
So our mission today is simple. We're going to dive into the hidden connection between this critical mineral and the 4 major troublemakers that threaten your heart health.
And you might find that the solution to 4 massive problems is found in one tiny, cheap chemical compound.
Okay, let's unpack this. When people talk about the scary world of heart issues, it typically falls into 4 classic categories. Let's call them the 4 horsemen of cardiac concern.
Right. Let's start with the most famous one, plaque. When inflammation happens in an artery wall, your body rushes in with a patch.
A sort of biological Band-Aid?
Exactly. A Band-Aid made of calcium and cholesterol. But that deposit obstructs the artery. And when blood flow is restricted, you lose oxygen, the heart muscle cramps, that's angina, and that lack of oxygen or ischemia leads to real tissue damage.
Okay, so that's villain number 1. Then you have the second one, blood clots.
The rogue internal roadblock. A clot forms, it lodges itself, and it completely blocks the flow of oxygen.
If that happens in your heart, it's a heart attack. If it takes a little detour up to your brain,
That's an ischemic stroke. Congratulations.
not a prize you want to win. What's number 3?
Number 3 is atrial fibrillation, or AFib. This isn't just about blood pooling, it's really electrical chaos. The heart is beating irregularly, which is fundamentally a problem of unregulated contraction.
And that chaos is what causes the problem.
That irregular rhythm causes blood to pool in certain chambers, and that pooling is what leads to the creation of dangerous clots.
And finally, number 4, the silent killer.
Hypertension. Chronic high blood pressure. That constant elevated pressure stiffens and hardens the arteries. It's like trying to pump water through a hose that's slowly turning to concrete.
And that forces the heart to work harder and harder until
Until it eventually fails.
So 4 huge problems.
What's fascinating here is that we can look at all 4 of these massive life-threatening issues, and they all point to one common silent factor.
You're saying there's a single thread connecting them all.
Whether it's the plaque formation, the tendency to clot, the electrical misfiring, or the stiffening of arteries, they all scream about a foundational magnesium deficiency. It is the silent co-conspirator behind the scenes.
So if this one mineral is so central to avoiding all this catastrophe, how does it actually work? How does it pull off this multitasking miracle?
Well, it comes down to a really fundamental push-pull relationship at the cellular level.
Okay.
Think of your muscle cells, your heart muscle, your artery walls as a tiny dance club.
I'm with you.
Calcium is the wildly enthusiastic party starter. It's the one screaming, "Contract! Power me! Let's go!" Calcium causes contraction and excitation.
No magnesium.
Magnesium is the supremely calm bouncer. He steps in and says, "All right, that's enough excitement. Everyone settle down and move toward the exit." Magnesium causes relaxation.
You need that perfect balance.
You need it. So if you experience that annoying eyelid twitch or that sudden painful leg spasm, medically called tetany, that's actually a symptom of too much calcium activity because there just isn't enough magnesium, the bouncer, to tell the muscle to chill out.
This immediately raises a very important and frankly frustrating question.
I know where you're going with this.
If magnesium is this master regulator of life, why isn't every doctor aggressively testing for it?
Because the standard testing is practically useless.
Wait, useless? How can a medical lab not test for a mineral?
Because if you test the magnesium in the blood, you're only seeing about 1% of the body's total store.
Only 1%.
1%. 99% of it is tucked away inside the cells in your bones and your organs where the action is actually happening. A standard serum blood test just measures what's floating around outside. It's statistically meaningless for gauging the deficiency.
So doctors are flying blind.
Which means they have to rely on symptoms instead of measurable data.
Okay, that explains why it's so neglected. So if doctors can't easily test for it, how do they treat the symptoms that result from it?
They rely on drugs. And here's where it gets particularly sarcastic.
Yeah.
They rely on drugs that mimic exactly what magnesium should be doing naturally.
You're kidding. So magnesium is basically a natural version of several blockbuster heart drugs.
Without the side effects or the staggering expense, yes, we can connect the dots directly. If the problem is excessive contraction, what do doctors prescribe?
Calcium channel blockers.
Right. These drugs literally block the access of calcium to stop that excessive excitation. Well, magnesium is a natural calcium channel blocker. It does that job without a prescription.
And what about for, say, stress and a racing heart?
You get beta blockers. Those are designed to block adrenaline and cortisol, the stress hormones, to relax the arteries and stabilize the heart's rhythm.
Me guess.
Magnesium naturally lowers adrenaline and cortisol. That's why people use it for sleep. It calms the whole nervous system down.
Okay, and for AFib, to prevent clotting.
For AFib, they often use warfarin or other blood thinners. The entire process of blood clotting is heavily dependent on calcium ions, since magnesium directly controls excess calcium.
It influences the whole clotting process.
Exactly. It influences the entire clotting cascade.
And blood pressure meds.
They're designed specifically to relax the arteries. Magnesium is a natural vasodilator. It literally widens the arteries, improving blood flow and naturally lowering the pressure.
So in every major category, magnesium is already doing the job.
It's constantly managing the overexcitement of calcium, which, it leads us to a slightly painful story that illustrates the problem perfectly. The kidney stone.
The classic calcium crystallization that feels like being stabbed from the inside.
Precisely. Kidney stones are typically formed from excess calcium buildup. I actually know someone who had a particularly brutal experience with one.
Oh, no.
And he remarked to his wife that he finally understood the pain she went through during childbirth.
He did not.
Oh, he did. She informed him very loudly that he did not.
Rightly so. But the point stands. That intense pain is excess calcium building up into crystals.
And magnesium is the ultimate antidote because it manages that calcium traffic. This is so critical because studies show that women taking high calcium supplements, especially after menopause, are at a higher risk for heart issues.
Because they're flooding the system with calcium.
An overwhelming influx of calcium without having the necessary magnesium to regulate the traffic flow and keep that calcium out of soft tissues like arteries and kidneys.
Okay, let's talk about the most frightening part of this. What happens during a heart attack when oxygen is cut off? You mentioned ischemia.
Right. So when heart cells start suffocating because they lack oxygen, their protective mechanisms fail.
And when those mechanisms fail, what rushes in?
Calcium. It floods the cell uncontrollably. And this isn't just a simple influx. The sudden drop in oxygen causes this excess calcium to precipitate.
Precipitate like rain?
No, not like rain. Calcium crystals literally form and lodge themselves inside the mitochondria.
Inside the cell's power plants.
Yes. These internal crystals cause irreversible structural damage to the heart tissue.
That is genuinely terrifying. Internal crystallization.
It is. But here's the miracle. Studies have shown that giving magnesium prior to or even during a heart attack prevents and protects the heart muscle from forming these destructive internal crystals.
Wow, it's like a defense mechanism against the cell literally dying.
It is, and this ties directly back to energy. Magnesium is essential for converting inactive energy into active energy inside those mitochondria.
So if you're deficient, your power plants are just running on empty.
Completely. You feel chronic fatigue, especially during exercise, because your body can't activate its fuel efficiently.
Let's talk about that super trio you mentioned before, vitamin D3 and K2.
Yes. Vitamin K2 is crucial for keeping calcium out of your arteries. But here's the thing you have to know if you're taking high doses of D3.
What's that?
D3 and K2 both absolutely require magnesium to function properly. If you take vitamin D alone without enough magnesium, you won't see the results you're looking for, and you might inadvertently increase calcium stress on your system.
Good to know. And what about that other symptom?
Oh, right. We almost missed one. Migraine headaches. They are another major sign that your nervous system is too agitated, often requiring magnesium doses higher than 400 milligrams just to calm that electrical overexcitement down.
So if this mineral is a miracle-working superhero, why is almost everyone running on empty?
It comes down to a perfect storm of poor absorption and our modern diet.
Let's tackle the absorption scam first.
A huge chunk of the research used by mainstream medicine to dismiss magnesium's effectiveness is, frankly, flawed.
How so?
The studies often use magnesium oxide, That form is absorbed at a staggeringly low rate, only 3 to 4%.
3 to 4%. So you take 400 milligrams and you're getting almost nothing.
Next to nothing. So of course you see zero results. Compare that to forms like magnesium glycinate or citrate, which can be absorbed at 80% or more.
That's a massive difference. And then there's the diet.
We are a population running on fumes. Sources consistently show that between 48 and 57% of the population consumes less than the recommended daily allowance.
And to get enough naturally, it's just not realistic, is it?
It's absurd. You'd need something like 11 cups of bananas or 7 cups of avocados. Who is realistically eating 7 cups of avocado a day?
Nobody.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, our ultra-processed food, our UPF diet, is the primary culprit. These highly refined, stripped-down foods have virtually no inherent nutrition, especially not minerals like magnesium.
And the stats on this they're genuinely horrifying.
They are. Toddlers aged 2 and under are now getting 45% of their calories from ultra-processed foods.
45%.
Teenagers consume a staggering 67% of all their calories from UPFs. Adults hit 57%. And that's before you even consider the things that actively deplete what little magnesium we have.
Right. It's not just what we're not getting, it's what we're losing.
Exactly. Our lifestyle is a relentless magnesium drain. Alcohol, refined sugar and starches, chronic stress, certain drugs like antibiotics, they all actively flush out your magnesium stores.
So we're deficient by diet, and we deplete what little remains by our lifestyle.
It's a perfect storm.
We found the missing link. Magnesium is our natural regulator, our muscle relaxer, our bouncer, and our protector against crystallization and electrical chaos.
Yet it's constantly being ignored and depleted by bad science, poor absorption, and a modern diet that offers nothing but empty calories.
And this is why it's so often missed in a clinical setting.
Right. The failure of the serum test combined with the fact that medical training dedicates, maybe a handful of hours to nutrition. It means the deficiency goes unrecognized until the patient has symptoms that require a prescription drug.
A drug that just mimics the missing mineral.
A drug that's a poor imitation of the mineral they needed all along.
So what does this all mean for you listening? Maybe the next time you get a random irritating cramp or feel utterly exhausted after a simple workout, don't just blame a lack of sleep.
Ask yourself, if magnesium is the regulator of electrical excitement and the protector against crystal formation, how much silent internal drama is happening because I'm neglecting the bouncer?
You might just be a natural supplement away from solving your body's biggest problem.